I wouldn't eat anymore, but I lied. Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Stephanie and today I'm going to be whipping up something delicious. I say that in almost all the videos, and by all the videos I mean this one and the first one I made, so just 2 videos. But still, this creation is going to be chocolatey. It's gonna have some vanilla. It's gonna have some peppermint, and it's gonna have some freaking nuts in it. Yeah, I'm going to put some nuts in this dessert because I love peanuts, and why the hell not? Today's creation, I'm going to be making a nutty bark bar. Try saying that 10 times fast. Nutty bark bar, nutty bark bar, nutty bark bar. I'm just gonna call it a holiday bar. I can't keep saying that over and over again because I guarantee I'm going to be stumbling over my words. Now the difference with this holiday bark is that it's completely vegan. I'm going to be using all vegan products, so there won't be any dairy in there, and the best thing too is that nobody is going to know that it's vegan. They're just going to assume it's a dairy-filled dessert, but little do they know I'm tricking them into just having vegan products in this dessert. The first video on my YouTube channel, I featured a product called Simply Delish. I whipped up a delicious bowl of their banana pudding, and it took under 5 minutes to make. And I just showed you how simple and easy it was and how you really only needed 2 ingredients, a blender, and a mixing cup, and voila, you have yourself a delicious dessert. However, this recipe is still going to be featuring Simply Delish instant puddings. I won't be using the banana pudding, but I will be using their vanilla pudding as well as their chocolate pudding. If you need a refresher on how to make Simply Delish instant puddings, just refer back to my first video where I show the step-by-step process in creating their simple instant desserts. Now, if you're familiar with holiday barks or peppermint barks, typically they are a chocolate and white chocolate layered dessert where you put it in your freezer, you freeze it, and then you pound it. That was fun. Pound it into little bite-sized pieces, so it kind of ends up looking like tree bark, but no trees are involved in the making of this recipe. I have a little something that I want to show you. These bad guys. They are flavor concentrates from One-on-One Flavors. For the longest time, I kept saying ooh flavors because there's 3 zeros followed by the word flavors, so I kept just saying in sentences, ooh flavors, I love the ooh flavor concentrates. No, Stephanie, it's One-on-One Flavors. So the 2 flavors that I'm going to be using in today's recipe with the chocolate layer, I'm going to be using their chocolate peppermint candy concentrate, and then for the vanilla or white chocolate flavor, I'm going to be using their white chocolate peppermint bark. Now, these are going to be perfect for this recipe because it literally says peppermint bark in it. It's as if these flavor concentrates were made for this recipe. Now, just a little insight on what One-on-One Flavors is. They are flavor concentrates that are completely vegan and keto friendly. With over 400 different flavor concentrates, you can pick and choose from either sweet or savory flavors. Now, when I say savory flavors, I mean they literally have a cornbread flavor, a bacon flavor, and a Parmesan cheese flavor. Yes, you can create a recipe using their Parmesan cheese flavor and make it completely vegan. Who would have thought? Not me. I would have never thought that there was a flavor concentrate that literally tastes like Parmesan cheese. Now, enough of me yapping your ears off. Let's get to making this recipe. After beating your pudding for 2 minutes and taking a spatula and wiping down the sides, take your flavor concentrate. I recommend 2 to 3 drops. Oop. Give it one final mix. Now, since the pudding is technically ready to eat, you can always, you can always kind of play around, test it, take a little bite of it, and see if you want to add a little bit more. My suggestion though, start off with only 1 or 2 drops, taste it, and then if you want to add more, you can add more. Now for the first layer of your holiday bark, you want to take your bowl of chocolate pudding, your parchment paper lined sheet tray, and you don't have to, but I like using an icing spatula just to smooth out the first layer. Now for the second layer, you want to follow the same exact process that I did for the first chocolate layer. The pudding, the flavor concentrate, and the same amount of mixing time. Now you're going to add the white chocolate peppermint bark flavor concentrate. Personally, I like to add a couple more drops than just the recommended 2 to 3, especially with this recipe. I want the peppermint flavor to really shine through up against the vanilla flavor. So go ahead and mix in the flavor concentrate. Now that the second layer is mixed, it's time to pull out that first layer that I've had in the freezer and layer the white chocolate layer on top.
And just like the first layer, take that vanilla layer and kind of spread it across the first layer. Ah, the smell of peppermint.
Now that you have your layer set, take your peanuts and sprinkle them on top. My holiday bark is now ready to be put back into the freezer. So this is what it looks like fully set. It's been setting for almost 9 hours. The longer you can keep it in your freezer, the better. So that's why you want to time this dessert out accordingly, so you're not just putting it in the freezer for a couple hours and it's not setting to the fullest that it can. But yeah, I can barely break off a piece of it, so that means it's set. Time to break it apart. Since there really isn't any correct method to this madness, I simply like to take the bark and put it on top of a cutting board, and then take additional parchment paper and just break it up with my hands. Starting to break up real nicely. If you just want to go back in. Oh, it's so cute. Unlike the last video where I practically ate an entire bowl of banana pudding, I'm going to reserve myself, but my suggestion, because this is a pudding-based recipe, when you do want to store it for later, definitely store it in your freezer, continue to store it in there, because I found that it kind of loses its texture and consistency if you put it in the fridge. To keep that consistency and texture for it to just break apart like that. It's best if it's stored in the freezer. In the video description, I will link to you Simply Delicious website, One-on-One Flavors website, as well as the actual products I used in this recipe. And then if you would like a full recipe outline of this, I can also provide you with that as well. And for an added bonus, go on to simplydelish.com and at checkout use code Stephanie10 for 10% off your entire order. Again, that is Stephanie10, 10% off your entire order. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, Simply Delicious motto, every day is dessert day. Thank you.